This is very nice. My grandsons, did you hear that point average? Huh? You got that, right? I got my whole family here, my 2 daughters, my wife, my son-in-law, my beautiful granddaughters and great-grandsons. They're both football players, soccer players, basketball players, fantastic golfers. Bob, I have bad news for you for tomorrow, because he invited me down to talk to the team tonight, and I gave them that Biggie Munn pep talk. And winning is the only way. Did you tell George? George was there. I hope he was listening. George was there, and I asked him afterwards if he was listening. He said, oh yeah, I got it. Anyhow, I gave him the other line, which I think was a great line that Biggie always put out, extra effort. And these guys back here all heard it. But extra effort is the difference between being good and great. And I think I have used that 42 years in the car business. I got a lot of dealers come out here tonight to support me from Tennessee and Cincinnati, Rosario, from down Lansing. But that's a line that we use to promote our young people, teach our young people how to be more competitive and how to work harder and make it happen. And I've used that for 42 years. I think Biggie gave us that line, plus winning is the only way and success is a struggle, which it is. But he taught me all this, and he and Duffy and Evie, to think about playing on a team and had those 3 guys coaching you, that was something phenomenal, really. Then I had John the year before with Mr. Bachman, and we had the Flying Z formation, was that thing called? Now, George, Chad, Pete, do you think they ever found out we never used the plays, we made our own up in the huddle? You think they really did find that out? How about that? Did you, John? Never. See? Well, it was a great experience at Michigan State. I came from Little Town, Pennsylvania. I went to the University of Delaware, met Jane before the war, and then we got married. We came up there. She was a school teacher here, taught Frosty Evershevsky, Michael Munn, and that's why I made the team. They couldn't catch me out. But we had a great experience. We had a little bad experience. Jane got sick while we were here the first year. And the Downtown Coaches Club and President Hanna were very grateful and helped us work out of our problem and continue on with our education. My wife got her master's degree while I was getting my first one. Of course, I told her she got it on my reputation, but you know, that didn't go very far either. But anyhow, she's an artist and great one at that. But it was a great experience for me to come to Michigan State from a little town, Pennsylvania. Number one, in Pennsylvania, as a kid, growing up, all you do is play football, nothing else. That's why I had to go to Pennington Prep School, because my grades weren't very good. But the desire, because you want to get out of Pennsylvania, you don't want to stay there. And the only way you get out is get a scholarship. So I knew I had to get out of there somehow, and I had to get a scholarship to get out of there so I could get out of the state of Pennsylvania. So we had the opportunity, then the war came along. I played ball for the 2nd Air Force during the war in Colorado Springs. And I played, some of you might remember the name, but I played behind Bulldog Turner, who many years ago played for the Chicago Bears. But anyhow, I had that opportunity. Then I came to Michigan State. I met a guy at that time on that team from Michigan State, and he kind of talked me into it. And then John got a hold of me and worked me out here and helped me get a job, Jane get a job teaching, so we came to Michigan State. A great experience, because we had nothing. We started from scratch. And I think we learned through living with Bachman and with John. And then when Biggie came in, we learned a lot of new things. What a great experience, because someone mentioned tonight, President Hanna was when we got into the Big Ten. There's the reason you got into the Big Ten, right back there. Those guys, and this guy and the other 2 coaches, because that team is the team that was there when they were put into the Big Ten. They made it happen. I'll tell you what, it was so competitive. We had football meetings night long, day long, all night. I'd break out in the highs every morning of the game because we had to win, because they wanted to be in the Big Ten. And of course, we wanted to get in the Big Ten. So it was a great experience, and I think I've learned the opportunity from being through that in my business career to compete and win. Because you have to win. You have to win to be successful. And I try to teach that to all the young people we hire. By the way, Michigan State is one of the 8 schools we use for recruiting at Toyota. Have for the last 8 years, I believe, and have gotten really some fine people. Very proud of that. I hope when I retire they don't cut you off, but but it was a great learning experience, I think, from what I learned from Michigan State. And I tell people, and my wife tells me not to say this, but from sports, I learned more about the world and how to compete than I did reading those books. I learned how to get along with people. I learned how to come back when you lose. I learned how to win. I learned the goals in life to be successful. And you can't learn that in a book. You learn that out there getting your face cut and your teeth knocked out. And that's the way it all happened for me. So I tell you, I appreciate this honor very, very much. I am dedicated to Michigan State University. Will always, and I'm working on these kids. One says you're going to Penn State, and I only live 20 miles from Penn State, and I hate them. So we're going to have a few more meetings with him, right, Robert? Huh? Anyhow, to my teammates back there, thank you so much for coming out. You're a great squad. They're all out here tonight. Wenger came all the way from California. He flew around. He flew from L.A. to Pittsburgh to Philadelphia so he could get more points. And I thank all the Toyota people and the dealers for coming out and come this long way to be with us. We appreciate it very much. You're very loyal and very dedicated. Thank you very much.